Ayan, I'm back and meron din tayong babalikan. So, baka kasi you were a bit confused. Bakit ganun yung restriction kanina? Bakit x can't be equal to 0? Tapos sa kabila naman, yung number 2, bakit ito, x can't be equal to 0 then? So, ganito ka siya kasimple. Just simply equate the denominator with the variable to 0 to determine ano yung restriction. So, pakita natin yon. So, the denominator here is x squared. Equate it to 0, and you will have x squared equals 0. And of course, you can apply here ESR, or extracting square roots. X should be equal to positive or negative square root of 0. X, of course, is equal to square root ng 0 ay 0. And positive or negative sign are not needed kasi ang 0 is neither positive nor negative. Therefore, x is equal to 0. At therefore, that value will make x squared equal to 0 at yun ang hindi pwede. Kaya nga, x should not be equal to 0. At yung sa number 2, simpleng-simple yan. Kasi nga, x lang naman denominator niyan, ibig sabihin, okay, when x is equated to 0, ayan na. So it reveals already that x, okay, that the value that will make x equal to 0 is just 0. So therefore, restricted yon. So x cannot be equal to 0 because otherwise 1 over x will be undefined. Okay? Ayan. So sa number 2 din to, no? Okay. So let's just delete this frame. Delete. Okay. Ayan. So dito naman, dalawa yung ating denominators with the variable, okay, na x. So ibig sabihin, let me show na yung dalawang yan i-equate ko sa 0. So, from x equals 0, ibig sabihin, 0 will make this 0. Okay? Ibig sabihin, 1 over 0 siya nun, magiging undefined. Therefore, x cannot be equal to 0. From x plus 4 equals 0, we get that x equals 0 minus 4, or simply, negative 4. Ibig sabihin, negative 4 will make x plus 4 0, at bawal nga din yun. Therefore, x should not be equal to negative 4 either. Okay? So, these are the restrictions. Meaning, ito ang mga hindi natin pwedeng tanggapin na value ng x. And next step, let us get the LCM of the denominators x, x plus 4, and 7. Ayan. Okay, so, one of these denominators is a constant. Ibig sabihin, the LCM will just be equal to that constant multiplied by the LCM of those with variables, x and x plus 4. So, ibig sabihin ito, let us determine the LCM of x and x plus 4. But, ang x and x plus 4, okay, these are called prime polynomials. Meaning, ang factor lang nila ay sarili nila and 1. So, ibig sabihin, their LCM is just their product, meaning 7 times the product of x and x plus 4. So we can rewrite this as 7x times the quantity x plus 4. So mas maiging naka-factored form muna siya. Okay? Para pag nag-multiply tayo later, we can easily see ano yung pwedeng makancel. Okay? So let's do just that. Multiply natin both sides of the equation by the factored form of the LCM. So, 1 over x plus 1 over quantity x plus 4. Okay. This quantity should be multiplied by 7x times quantity x plus 4. And then equals 1 over 7 to be multiplied by the LCM nga na 7x times the quantity x plus 4. Ayan. Okay, so let's start. 1 over x times 7x times quantity times quantity x plus 4. So, kapag ganyan, you can look at anong common dun sa factored form at sa denominator. Yun ang ating minumultiply sa LCM. So, parehas silang merong x, di ba? Ibig sabihin, these x's will be cancelled. Matitira na lang is 1 times 7 times quantity x plus 4. So, pakita ko yun. Sulat natin. So, matitira is 1 times quantity 7, times 7 na multiplied pa nga by the quantity x plus 4. Ayan. So, ito yung sagot dito sa 1 over x times this factored form. Next. Yun. This second fraction na positive, because of this plus sign, multiplied by the factored form. So, anong common naman nila ngayon? X plus 4. X plus 4. So, matitira 1 and 7x. What is 1 times 7x? That will be positive 1 times 7x. Okay. Equals, doon sa pangatlo naman, or on the right side, ano ang common? Para silang may 7. Parehas na may 7. So, matitira 1 times quantity as times the product of x and x plus 4. And parang natatakpan yung close parenthesis na sa right side. Ay, hindi. Wala talaga siyang close parenthesis. Nakalimutan natin. Okay, yan. So, let me write the product. 1 times the quantity or the product of x and x plus 4. Ayan. So, let's simplify muna yung each term. Kasi this is just 1 times the quantity 7 multiplied by the quantity x plus 4. This will just be equal to this. So, what is 7 times the binomial x plus 4? It will be 7x plus 28. We distributed 7 to each term inside the parentheses by multiplication. And then for this one naman, it's 1 times 7x. Therefore, 7x lang yan. Equals, o dito din, this is just 1 times this. So, meaning the product will just be coming from this. So, x times quantity x plus 4 is x times x squared, plus x times 4, positive 4x. Ayan. So, at this point, we have derived the quadratic equation. Not necessarily in standard form siya. So, ibig sabihin, that will be our next step, to write it in standard form. So, let's simplify muna this left side. This becomes 14x plus 28 equals x squared plus 4x. Now, pwede ko i-apply yung symmetric property so that the quadratic term na nasa right side dito ay mapunta na agad dun sa left side. So, there will be, the expressions on both sides will just be switching places. So, x squared plus 4x equals 14x plus 28. Ayan. So, again, we just applied symmetric property. That's why we don't need to change any sign. Okay, kasi hindi natin transpose. Now, so this is the part where we have to transpose na nga so that all terms will be on one side and the right side will just be 0. So, x squared plus 4x minus 14x minus 28 equals 0. And this can be further written as x squared minus 10x minus 28 equals 0. Ayan. Kasi 4 minus 14 is negative 10. So, x squared minus 10x minus 28 equals 0 ang ating standard form. Okay? So, what method do you think should we use to get the roots? Factorable ba siya? Are there two numbers na ang product ay negative 28, tapos ang sum ay negative 10? Kung wala, meaning, we have to use quadratic formula na lang. So, let's do that on the next frame. Yan. So, again, the standard form of the equation that we derive na quadratic ay x squared minus 10x minus 28 equals 0. So, first step, ano ang values ng A, B, at C? So, A is 1, B is negative 10, C is negative 28. Step 2, we have to get the value of the discriminant B squared minus 4AC. So, this is equal to square of negative 10 minus the product of 4, 1, and negative 28. So, square of negative 10 is 100 minus, okay, 4 times 1 is 4 times negative 28. Bali, 256 yun. So, negative 112. Dalawang negative 56 yun. Kasi 4 times negative 28 can be rewritten as 2 times negative 56. So, ayan. So, this becomes, syempre, in subtracting integers, we change the sign of the subtrahend. Then, we add. So, 100 plus positive 112 is 212. At ayun, hindi nga factorable yung ating quadratic trinomial dito because the discriminant is positive pero hindi perfect square. So, what do we do? sa step 3, we'll get the square root of the discriminant. So, anong square root ng 212? So, simplify na lang natin siya. Ano bang factor ng 212 ang perfect square? We can do factor 3 dito. So, pakita natin dito sa gilid. 212, anong pwede nyo maging factor? The last two digits of this number formed a number, the last two digit numbers of this number form a number na divisible by 4. Ibig sabihin, the entire number is divisible by 4. 212 divided by 4. That will be 200 divided by 4 plus 12 divided by 4. So, 53. Tama ba? So, 53 times 4. Check nga natin. This is 12, carry over 1. This is 20 plus 1, 21. And 53 is a prime number. Ibig sabihin, if we factor this, it will just have to write 53 and 1. So, it will not help naman na to determine kung ano pang perfect square factor ng 212 bukod sa 4. At bukod sa 1, syempre. Ibig sabihin, ito na yung largest. Okay? So, we can express this as the product of, square root of the product of 4 and 53. At syempre, anong square root ng 4? 2. So, lalabas siya. And then, it becomes coefficient of the radical square root of 53. And then, still under step 3, negative b. Anong value niya? Positive 10. What about 2a? 2 times 1? 2. So, ibig sabihin, pagdating sa step 4, mag-drawing nga lang tayo ng mukha. Yan. So, ibig sabihin, we're expecting that the roots are real, irrational, and unequal because of the discriminant nga na positive but not perfect square. So, possible yan. So, we have, anong susulat dito natin sa unang box? Yung negative of b, so 10. What about sa second? Yung square root ng discriminant na nakasimplify na 2 square root of 53. And then sa baba, yung value ng 2a, which is 2. Can we simplify this algebraic fraction? Tingnan natin. Let me encircle yung 10, yung 2, at yung 2. So, all of them are divisible by 2. So, this becomes 5. Ito, 1 na lang. Ito, 1 na lang din. So, meaning, we have 5 plus or minus. Siyempre, yung 1, no need to write it because it will now be the coefficient of square root of 53. Hindi na kailangan yun. And then, divided by 1. So, dividing by 1 will just give us the same number na dinivide natin sa 1. So, we have 5 plus or minus square root of 53. Ito na nagpapakita ng dalawang roots ng equation na to, the one that we derive. So, x sub 1 is 5 plus square root of 53. And then x sub 2 is 5 minus square root of 53. And neither of them is equal to 0 nor equal to negative 4. So, ibig sabihin, both will be accepted as the roots of the given rational algebraic equation. Yun, so we have discussed one equation pa in this part of the video. I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.